harder than ever. Everything costs more.
This might be the only shot normal Americans have left.
I'm going to live in this bell tent while I finish up the 10 by 12 starter cabin.
When I tell you our grocery bill should be illegal, I am like slightly embarrassed / ashamed / appalled to even tell you what the number is.
The amount of debit and credit cards that were declined were astronomical.
If it's not one thing, it's another, it's another, it's another, it's another. Like, you literally don't get a break from anything.
I'm so sick of my life. Everyone is exhausted. Post-pandemic, the world, the exhaustion, the stimulation, the rhetoric.
I feel bad for Gen Z and Gen Alpha or whoever that is, because those people have never known the old world.
I'm slowly coming to the realization that we are the generation that has to do something, and it's one of the most difficult realizations to accept.
Bitch, I'm bippin' and I'm booted up. No, it don't take nothing for my niggas to get suited like, why he dissing on the grain? That shit is fair like what they do to us. Niggas, my little bitch so bad, get what she want the newest drop.
What is going on, y'all? It is Casual Reacts, and today we're going to be taking a look at a video by a Homestead Journey. The title of the video is Americans Are Burning Out While the System Pretends Everything is Fine. Now, before we get into the video, I do want to speak on this really quick. We're not going to watch through the whole thing, but basically these are just small short form videos of people talking about, you know, their experiences with everyday life. And I feel like after 2020, everybody's kind of been on the exact same thought process with how everything's going on. And just to think that we haven't grown closer as a society in a weird way, I feel like we've only grown farther apart, but hopefully, you know, as things continue to progress, we'll be able to grow closer. So let's get into it.
Quite a few things feel off in America right now, and many people can feel it. They are exhausted, burned out, and stretched thin in many ways that really didn't exist not too long ago. Because of this, more Americans are questioning the system. They are redefining what success looks like, or they are quietly opting out of the system altogether.
One day, you'll own nothing and you'll be happy. That's the direction we're headed, with never-ending payments and never-ending subscriptions with never-ending price increases. And now, to fix affordable housing, we have the 50-year mortgage plan. It's almost like the
50-year mortgage plan, bro.
Because to be able to,
as if 30 years wasn't already crazy.
Only imagine they're going to need to raise the retirement age. And if we're going from 30-year mortgage loans to 50-year mortgage loans, I guess we're going to go from retirement age being 67 to retirement age being 87. No thanks.
87.
I live in this. And that's my chicken coop.
People
87.
And they're
Making homelessness illegal in a country whose minimum wage is $7.25 with a median rent of $1,400 is evil.
If you're very poor, like myself, you might be asking,
poor.
How do people have money? How are they affording anything in life? And I'm here to tell you, they're not. How do I know? I'm a barista. I am. And today, the amount of debit and credit cards that were declined were astronomical.
What?
I'm talking the highest amount ever in one day that I've had to go up to people and be like, hey, I'm so sorry. Actually, this didn't go through. Do you have another card?
That's actually wild.
Give me the same answer. Oh, really?
It just goes to show, I mean, it's clear as day that a lot of people are keeping their heads above water by utilizing their credit lines. And a majority of people in America don't have access to credit.
No, I don't. And then leaving. Because, like, they're just giving me their cards, hoping, praying, not
exactly
out, just hoping it gets through.
It just
so
goes
they can
through.
Have a little caffeine to get them through their day. We don't have
That's
money,
insane.
money, you know, they're just pretending they do, which sometimes works. Sometimes you have a few bucks just to get your coffee. Other times you don't. It was sad. It was a sad day. I also, during the holidays, this is the best tipping season. People love to tip during the holidays. And I know a lot of people feel weird about tipping. That's your business. I will tell you, it is the lowest tipping season I've ever had. And it's fine. It's fine. I'm not mad at it. I'm just letting you guys know where we stand. Economically, it's low. So if you're like, damn, I'm so poor, everyone else has money, we don't. None of us do. We're faking
nobody has money. Yeah.
I got my electric bill for the month of November, and it's $300, and it hasn't even been cold yet. Last winter, I was paying up to $700 a month in the winter months. Yeah, $700. So what am I doing this year? I'm going to freeze. I'm keeping my thermostat on 55 when I go to work, and when I come home, whatever room I'm in, I'm going to turn the heat on in that room until it gets warm, and then turn it back again when I go to sleep. Because this is the life of planet Earth. You work just to pay your rent and your heat and your air, whatever the hell it is.
Facts.
Okay?
It's pretty
and
crazy.
Then whatever's left, you get to go food shopping. So today, food shopping is a privilege. If you're lucky enough to have any money left after you pay your freaking rent and your utilities, you get to go buy food. There you go. Rant over.
Look, if you all even give a f anymore, I don't even understand why. Like, we're literally priced out of every single life milestone, from marriage and children, owning a home, and moving out. Like, there's no reason to care anymore. Somebody give me a reason to give a f, because I cannot find one. We're literally priced out of development. We can't even afford to live. Like, why should I care about anything anymore? Except maybe 20, 30 years from now investing, because there's still a glimmer of hope for that. But we're not even living. We're not even living to live. We're just working to live, guys.
You know why I'm leaving this country? Because no one's going to do anything about this. We just found out some of the most horrific things, which if even a morsel of it is true, it's really bad. And no one's doing anything about it. So for those of you who are like, you should stay and fight, with whom shall I fight this battle? Because everyone's still, you know, boycotting Star Schmucks and McDonald's and holding parades. And I'm not opposed to those things. I'm still doing those as well. But if that's all we're doing, they're...
Because that's the point. That's the point it gets to. Like, we come after these smaller corporations. In some instances, we come after larger corporations, and then, you know, we may get some footing in that battle, and then we lose it. We either lose it, we're inconsistent, it lasts for about a week or two, and then it's just back to normal. And the worst part is that's the only choice that we have. Like, most people that actually want to put in more time and put more action into changing things, they literally can't, because they're being priced out, or because they have to work, because they just don't have the time. Maybe they have kids and they have to take care of their kids, and so that's not important. You know what I'm saying? But for those of you that are like me, that are single, and you're sitting here every day trying to figure out exactly what you can do to be a part of whatever change needs to be done for there to be a society for Gen Alpha to actually live in, I don't know what it's going to take. I'm personally not giving up, because I don't believe in the world. The God I serve can do anything. So I'm not really worried about none of that personally. Although I'm still here and I may still have some thoughts, I may still have some fears. That's me still developing in my faith. That's me still developing in my mentality. And I'll continue to do that. But hey, man, I'm just letting y'all know, if y'all don't have something that you're holding on to, you need to find that. And personally, for me, that's God. You know what I mean? So you really need to find that for yourself. You know what I'm saying?
We're just all going to sit in this escape.
Imagine being able to build an app with your name on it, just by thinking about it. Meet Base 40.
And watch. We are no better than the audience members at the Coliseum. If you decide to actually fight, if anyone decide, and I know, I shouldn't, we need a leader. Great. There isn't one at this time. As soon as the fight actually starts and you guys decide, the majority decides to actually stand up to this shit, give me a call. I'll get on the first plane and come right back and help you out. Until then, I'm out.
Does anybody else
I respect it.
Get like weird urges?
I respect it. If I was in the same position to do that, I definitely would. I'm not sure what country I would go though, because we're still acting like America, you know, isn't one of the best countries for opportunities.
It's just not to be here anymore.
I don't know.
Because that's where
I'm not well traveled yet. I'm not well traveled yet. So.
And the only reason I'm here is because
I don't know.
What's up, bud? I didn't have my dog, I would not be here. And it's really starting to hit me today for some reason. Like, I wish I had, I don't know, friends, family. Just over it, to be honest. I think.
Damn. What's that dude's name? Because I want to be his friends, for real.
Over it, to be honest. I think this is about the truest statement
I pray nothing but long health for him and his dog, bro.
going on in the world right now. I think that everyone is exhausted post-pandemic, the world, the exhaustion, the stimulation, the rhetoric. There is this constant pressure on everyone. And I think like capitalism, end of days kind of thing with like growth. And I'm not for it anymore. It's time to slow down. I feel like I'm on the slow it down and catch my breath moment.
Yeah.
Who's with me?
Does anybody else feel like there must be something real good coming, something real big coming, because all you do constantly is have warfare in your life in every single area? I know it can't be just me, because I've talked to so many people about this. It can't be.
No, absolutely.
Like, if it's...
I actually got to that point recently where I was like, something has to change. And for the longest time, with everything going on in the world, everything that was going on in my personal life, I actually got really far. I wouldn't say far, but I stopped acknowledging God. The way that I knew he was present in my life. And I started to kind of look at everything going on in the world as more tangible than what his word tells me. And I got super depressed. I got super worn out. And I started to think like, yo, this warfare that I'm in, like, bro, like, is there ever going to be an end? Am I ever going to get to a place where people will finally understand me? Am I ever going to get to a place where people finally see me? Am I ever going to get to a place where I'm finally understood? Am I ever going to get to a place where... And I think I'm finally getting to a place where... And you watching this video right now is evidence of that. Me finally getting to a point where I just don't care about other people's opinions anymore. I don't care about what other people think about me, how other people feel about me, because I know who I am. You know what I'm saying? I know what I know who I am. I know who I am. I know I'm an amazing person. You know what I'm saying? So you have to know that you're an amazing person. You can't get on social media. You can't go out into this world and allow the world to dictate who you think you are or what you believe to be true. You know what I'm saying? Trust yourself. Trust your morals. You know what I mean?
Not one thing, it's another. Like, you literally don't get a break from anything. And it's constant stress.
And trust God.
Constantly with one thing coming at you, and then you resolve that, and there's another one. Then there's another one. Then there's another one. Literally, people can't afford to pay their bills. It's bad.
Yeah.
In so many different areas. So, does anybody else feel that right now? Like, spiritually, that like something big has to be coming, especially for the people of God, because there's no reprieve from any of this. And it just keeps getting worse. And you just feel like you get no rest, no break. Anybody else? Because it's been like this for me for a while. And I just feel like it's never gonna end. And I know it will, but one day. But it's just so discouraging and so hard. And so many people want to give up right now. Anybody else feel that way? I know you're out there. Somebody else has to feel the way that I do, because this is crazy.
Hey. So basically, as she was saying, is there anybody else that feels that way? And I think that we've gotten to a place as a society where people are losing hope in a way. They're losing sight of hope. And it's really sad to see. Because when you take a step back and look at beautiful views, or you travel and you see how beautiful this earth is, or you look into the sky and you see a beautiful sunset or a sunrise, or you're out in public and you see beautiful people smiling, laughing, enjoying their time with their families. You hear people talking, you smell food, you hear laughter, you hear music. Don't, and this is me telling myself that as well, don't lose sight. Don't lose sight of what it is to be human. Holding doors for people, saying hello, smiling at people, talking to people that you may not know and not being nervous to do that. A lot less people talk nowadays. Helping your neighbor. If somebody needs help, helping them. There's been so many situations where I've seen people walk past somebody that's homeless, or somebody that needs help, or somebody that has fallen. This is crazy, man. Like, I personally sometimes feel like there's no place for me and my mentality in this world, but I have to constantly remind myself that that's why I need to be here. Because people like us, people with big hearts, people who really care for others, because they're like empaths, sort of. We really need to be here because there's a lot of work to be done. And I think a lot of people fail to realize how much they can change just themselves. One person can really change the world. You know what I'm saying? But it takes, sometimes it also takes a village. So I really just hope people can come together in these.
This is the kind of home people love to judge, but in a housing market where a starter home
we're about to
is
finish this video out about
400K,
halfway through as well.
This might be the only shot normal Americans have.
Hold up.
350 to 400K. This might
350 to 400K
left. Yep, it's a mobile home, not a luxury condo, not a McMansion, but it's safe, it's affordable, and it won't drown someone in debt. Everyone screams
300.
but when we show them
Okay. I don't think he said that's how much this
they're too
is.
good for it. Make that make sense. Now we're giving this one a light upgrade, skirting repairs, power wash, fresh paint, a little bit of rehab, just bring it back to life, but no bulldozers needed. The inside's not great, but it's not destroyed. Most investors would walk away, but we don't. We fix it.
I mean, it's
you can hate on
livable.
mobile homes all you want, but you know what people really
It's
need?
livable.
$2,000 rent and saving nothing. This little home provides privacy, storage, parking, a yard, and no shared walls with other tenants. We don't need more luxury housing. We need attainable housing. Homes normal people can own, not lease forever. Would you live here? Smart move or trash housing?
I live off.
Hey, if I really had to, I would. For the time being, until I get myself into a better position, but I would use that as just like a stepping stool to the best of my ability, and I would just be on my grind, kind of like what I'm doing right now in the situation that I'm in.
$30 one.
Just staying focused on what I gotta do right now.
To a 16-foot,
You know
5-meter bell tent from Stout Tents. It's the double door version. It seems super durable, super sturdy. I did a lot of research on bell tents before picking this one. I'm going to live in this bell tent while I finish up the 10x12 starter cabin. Hopefully it'll be done in the spring, but I got this set up for the most part, not exactly how I want it, but again, it's getting dark out. So yeah, over here I plan on doing like my remote job and keeping my cooking supplies. I got this beautiful antique set from my grandma that her parents supposedly thrifted. That's gonna be one of my projects that I'm looking forward to. Is redoing those and bringing them up to snuff, because I don't know how old they are, but they definitely need.
She's so sweet.
Beautiful pieces though. And then I got my little side table stand thing. I'm gonna keep my books and like my knitting and my crochet projects to tinker on.
This is insane.
Eventually,
she's by
I'm
herself.
gonna switch this out for either a queen or a king. I'm not sure.
This is stressing me out. I mean, I know people are like out there living in tents and stuff. Like, this is nothing new, but it's just like,
I do have
it's kind of wild. Is that a stray cat or is that her cat?
Camping stove. I'm not planning on getting a camping stove. I'm just gonna tough it out this winter, because I don't want to drop a couple $100s on that and then hopefully turn around next year and buy an actual wood stove for the cabin. The lowest it's been is 22 degrees, and I was perfectly fine in my 0-degree bag. A little bit chilly, but I put my blanket over my head and I was perfectly fine. I do have a negative 25-degree sleeping bag coming in.
Yo, this is actually insane. Like, when you think about it, bro.
I do like to be on the hotter side.
We don't know her situation, and we don't know how she got in this situation.
Long-awaited bell tent, and
But
I'm super excited to finally be in it.
There are people living in tents.
And the space is just, it's a blessing. Ironically enough, it's going to be bigger than the
she's so humble
square footage wise, which is crazy to think. But, yep.
It feels like we are in an emotional standoff in our society. Everyone needs support, and no one can give it. No one has the space for it. We're all collectively doing terrible. And as a millennial that has, I guess, lived through a lot of once-in-a-lifetime shit,
I feel like, I'm sorry to cut it off, y'all. I feel like his point is going to be the best one so far. So we might end it with this one.
And I think we're all feeling that.
Yeah.
And I sort of say that because I feel bad for Gen Z and Gen Alpha or whoever that is.
Gen Z.
Those people have never known the old world. And
so it's weird because for Gen Z, for Gen Alpha for sure, but for Gen Z, there's some of us who did know the old world and there's some of us who didn't. Those that are in Gen Z that are born solely like 2000s and up, like, yeah, you probably didn't really get to experience like Rocket Power, like Codename Kids Next Door, like, you know what I'm saying, Bear Sting Bears, you know what I'm saying, like, you know what I mean, all of those classics back in the day, PBS, you know what I'm saying, Sesame Street, you know, playing outside with your friends, trying to get home before the street light, you know what I mean, was on, walking to the corner store with all your family members, and then y'all go in there with like $5 between all of y'all, and y'all all get a drink, some chips, and candy each. Like,
millennials were the last ones to know the old world, where despite the 2008 financial crisis and all that bullshit and 9/11 and how that changed everything, when I was a kid and when I was a teenager, I was getting older and going into the world with the expectation that more or less I was going to have a normal life.
Exactly.
And there was never a thought about anything like this happening like it is now. However, that could have just been me not paying attention to the warnings that were there. But I do feel like everything happening now is mostly unnecessary, with the exception of climate change. That shit was always coming for us.
Exactly.
And we were always going to pay for that. And there was always going to be consequences for the way we have lived in a capitalistic society that pretends that we live on a finite planet.
Exactly.
And we just consume and consume and produce and just make stupid plastic bullshit. And it's the way we destroyed the earth for mass farming and mass factory farming and all sorts of stuff. So there were always consequences, but I think we all are living the completely unnecessary consequences of just greed. Greed and power will be what ends humanity.
I just found out that in order to qualify for CalFresh food assistance in the state of California, you have to bring home for a family of two less than $1,758 a month. The average cost of a one-bedroom or studio apartment here in California is $1,400 to $1,800 for a tiny apartment. So if I bring home $1,800 a month, I can pay my rent and part of my car payment, and that's it, but I still wouldn't qualify for assistance with food. I currently have negative $210 in my bank account. I have no room on my credit cards. I have no money to buy groceries. But I still don't qualify for assistance from a system in which that I have paid my entire life, because I bring home more money than they determine is appropriate for somebody who needs help with food.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sure what poverty index they are using. It's got to be ages old, because they're definitely not taking into consideration how much it actually costs to live here.
Exactly.
When determining if someone deserves.
Chevy is more than just a name you can trust. It's everything you
to eat.
Does anybody else have mounting anxiety when faced with having to go to the grocery store, or
All right, y'all, this is going to be the last one. The one ended here.
is it just me? Because like every time I go, I know it's going to be worse. It's going to be worse. Everything is going to be more expensive than the last time. My husband does a lot of the grocery shopping for our family, so I'm a little bit insulated from it. But when I do go, it feels like I spend the entire trip being like, what the hell? How is this?
Yeah, orange juice is ridiculously priced right now, bro.
What do you mean coffee is on sale for $18 a pound? Wait a minute, the last time I bought this yogurt, it was 6 ounces and now it's 5.3. And I remember a couple of years ago when it was 8 ounces and now it's 5.3. Right? It's the fact that prices are going up. The shrinkflation is increasing. I went to the grocery store today with one of my kids. We had to get a couple of ingredients.
Yeah,
scones, so
they are shrinking a lot of,
and then
I've noticed a few things that I purchased a lot that
chia
are not the
pudding
same
that she
size.
wanted to make, and so we needed espresso powder. And while we were there, we got some yogurt and a couple other things. I got cranberries so I could make a cranberry orange upside down cake. A bag of cranberries was $4. I feel like a year ago it was $1.69 and 3 years ago it was 69 cents. I don't know. I filmed a video earlier today, which I haven't published yet, where I was talking about grocery prices. The Politico has this new poll that came out, like a week ago, asking Americans, what is the thing you are most worried about affording in 2025 going into 2026? And the number one answer was not rent, was not your car payment, it was not your kids' college tuition. It wasn't even healthcare premiums. The number one thing that Americans in the wealthiest nation on earth are worried about being able to afford is food. Food. In the wealthiest nation on earth, Americans, your average American, is concerned about being able to afford to feed their families.
That's
It's
insane.
everywhere. I feel like it's across the board. I've seen a number of indicators show that depending on what kind of particular grocery you're buying, costs can be up 12% or they can be up as much as 55%. Things like coffee are up 38, 40%. Bacon, ground beef, yeah, they've basically doubled. Tariffs account for a lot of the increases. Fertilizer, farm equipment, y'all, those are imported. Everything is more expensive in Donald Trump's America. When I'm spending $3 or $4 for a pack of tofu that used to be a pound and is now 14 ounces or 12 ounces, when a jug of orange juice is $8, when a carton of heavy cream is $8.50, it's just, does this feel like prosperity to you? Does this feel sustainable to you? This is what I bought today, and I spent $43.24. We didn't even need a grocery bag. My daughter and I just carried the food out in our hands.
I'm slowly coming to the realization that
All right, this is the last one. This is the last one.
The generation that has to do something.
But I appreciate everything she just said, because that's facts. Down to the simplest necessity for humans to live is food, nutrients. And there are so many people that can't afford food. And they just took away food stamps and WIC and all of that stuff last year.
And it's one of the most difficult realizations to accept. All throughout history, we've learned and watched some of the worst atrocities be handled.
I have to end it after this because I'm not trying to stress myself out before I go to sleep. So I might actually have to do another reaction after this to end things on a lighter note.
By groups of people who had to stand up and do something about it. And I think we've been conditioned to be more comfortable observing from a distance than getting rid of our discomfort. Whether you are pro-life or pro-choice or pro-Second Amendment or anti-guns or religious or atheist, we are living in an era where we have to behave differently right now. We've grown up reading about all of these revolutions and all of these stories of these people fighting back against power. We've watched these movies and TV shows telling these great stories about these heroes that got together and fought the odds. And I think we are unfortunately living in the generation that has to be the people who do that. Because every single day we are witnessing more and more evil come out from its hiding place. And I know it's so easy to just hope and wait for someone else to be the first one to do something, but I honestly don't think that we have much time. We're living in an age where we can organize groups of people and communicate with strangers across the world instantly. And I don't know what needs to be done. I don't know how to even begin doing what needs to be done, but I'm willing to try and at least get people together so we can figure it out. Because at the end of the day, I have so much more in common with the pro-life, pro-Second Amendment Christian that lives next door to me than I ever will with the top 1% multi-billionaires of the world. So aside from all of these social issues that we could debate on endlessly, leave a comment and just let me know that I'm not the only one realizing this, because it's honestly a very isolating feeling when just walking around.
Your job depends on reliable tools. That's why Harbor Freight is committed to offering quality tools to pros like yourself at a fraction of the price. Stop by today and put us to the test. Harbor Freight, your pro tool.
So how are we supposed to?
All right, y'all. So this is the end of the video. I don't want to watch too much further because I don't want to get stress myself out. And I'm just really hoping that things do come around. But that's the main thing I wanted to say. Right now, we're not just looking at the same issues that we used to look at back in the day. Now it is no longer about race. Now it is no longer about you simply disagreeing with me because we don't like the same freaking TV show or music. Now it comes down. All right, so before we end this video, y'all, I definitely didn't want to end this video on like a really sad note. Although this is what's going on in America right now, people just got to realize that there is still an opportunity for all of us to come together. I think we should put a lot of the same things we've been fighting over within America aside and realize that we have way larger pressing issues that we need to deal with, and we need to come together. The only way we'll be able to effectively change things if we come together, which we are doing, but you know, I just hope we continue to do it. Now, before we end this, I have a few scriptures that I wanted to read to y'all because again, I am personally not going to sleep with all this negativity on my mental. So I don't want you guys going to sleep with it on your minds either. Now, we're going to read about 3 to 4 scriptures of encouragement straight from the Word of God. The first one is going to be Psalm 91, verse 1 through 2. Whoever dwells in the shelter of the Most High will rest in the shadow of the Almighty. I will say of the Lord, He is my refuge and my fortress, my God in whom I trust, provides divine protection and security. The second scripture is going to be 1 Peter chapter 4, verse 7 through 8. The end of all things is near. Therefore be alert and of sober mind, so that you may pray. Above all, love each other deeply, because love covers over a magnitude of sins. Focuses on spiritual readiness and intense love. That's scripture. And our last and final scripture is John chapter 14, verse 27. Peace I leave with you. My peace I give you. I do not give to you as the world gives. Do not let your hearts be troubled, and do not be afraid. Straight from the Word of God. So, I really hope that helped out a few of y'all, man. I really appreciate y'all for tuning into the video. Stay focused. Stay focused on what you know you need to do. Everybody's kind of just, you know, getting by right now, doing what we need to do. So just continue to do what you can do. But one thing I will encourage a lot of people to do, and something I have to constantly remind myself, is that I am not behind. I'm doing great. And I'm exactly where I need to be. So trust the process. And again, I appreciate you guys making it this far. You made it to the end of the video. Say cost of living. Say cost of living. No. Say cost of living is wild in the comments if you made it into this video. I appreciate y'all for making it this far, and I will see you guys in the next video. Casual out.